Electronic-related crimes. Computer crime developments, computer forensics is used in many areas. In civil law for discrimination and harassment case, by insurance companies for workers' compensation case, by corporation for trade secret misappropriation and in criminal law mostly for a drug and embezzlement record keeping and child pornography. As mentioned previously, this is loosely related. Developing a specialty area, it is a most closely related typewriter comparison the FBI has for many years maintained by typewriter database, ink databases, copy toner database, paper database, and watermark, which sometimes change every year. Private examiners do not have the advantage of large database available to government examiners. Computer and computer printouts also leave a trail that can be followed, whether it's from something simple like how full or dry printer's ink cartridge is to the various alignment and misalignments of that matrix laser printers. Yun nga daw, ang computer forensics ito ginamit sa madaming areas. Sa civil law, ito ay ginagamit sa discrimination at kasong harassment. A computer forensics expert will have experience on a wide variety of hardware and software. Unlike paper evidence, computer evidence exists in many forms, with earlier, alternate, and backup versions of each and every file somewhere of the hard drive and frequently unknown to the users. The process of examining a suspect computer system is as follows. Secure, protect the system from further use, damage, of corruption. Yun nga daw po, kailangan daw pong isiguridad at protektahan ng sistem sa paggamit upang maiwasan na pagkasira sa pagkorupsyon. Discover all files including hidden and encrypted ones. Diskubrahin ang mga papeles kabilang sa mga hidden at mga encrypted ones. Reveal all hidden temporary and swap files all protected of encrypted files. Ilabas ang mga natatago at pansamantala at pagpalit ng mga papeles at ito ay kailangang protektahan. Reveal all hidden temporary and swap files all protected or encrypted files. Analyze all unlocated or slack space on disk. Kailangan daw pong analisahin ang lahat ng unallocated or slack space sa isang disk. Print out an overall analysis of the system listing all files. Kailangan i-print ang lahat ng mga analysis sa system. Formulate an opinion of the system layout, file structure, and aim to hide, delete, protect, or encrypted information. Kailangan daw pong magsagawa ng isang opinion ng system sa layout, file structure, encrypted information, saka delete, protect. In 1969, the United States Department of Defense, with the providing connection between computer in different locations, developed the Internet. The project called ARPANET originated. Their idea was based on that the network would still operate even if part of the connection house at UCLA and Stanford Research Institutes. Then the sites of USA failed. The first successful link was established between Computer Santa Barbara and the University of Utah. Computers were added to the system. There were more than 20 sites connected to the system. When the first electronic email message was sent in 1972. In the establishment of the National Science Foundation Network, NSFNet, 1980s, this network of interconnected computers grew, which encompassed 5 supercomputing centers across the United States for the purpose of accessing NSFNet by 1989 states. At about the same time, regional networks were formed. ARPANET as those down and NSFNet along with the regional networks began to mushroom into a worldwide network known as the Internet. Noong 1969 daw po, ang United States Department of Defense ay nagsagawa na sila ng isang connection between computers and sa sa iba't ibang lokasyon. Nagsagawa sila ng internet. Ang proyektong iyon ay tinatawag na ARPANET. Ang kanilang ideya ay binase nila sa network na nag-ooperate sa connection house sa Ookla and Stanford Research Institute. Ang kanilang unang successful na nagawa ay in-establish between computers sa Santa Barbara at sa Universidad ng Utah Computers. Meron daw itong mahigit na 20 sites na konektado sa system. Ang unang electronic mail daw ay email na inumpisahan magsample ng message noong 1972. Itong network na ito daw ay konektado sa pag-unlad ng computer. What is internet? It can be defined as a network of networks. A single network consists of two or more computers that are connected to share information. It connects thousands of these networks so all the information can be exchanged. Connections are typically made through a modem, a device that allows computers to exchange and transmit information through telephone lines. A modem takes a digital information and pass through a series of steps to convert into analog signals or sound waves that can be passed over a telephone line. The process is reversed when the modem converts information coming in from phone line. Modems transfer the information at a rate of bits per second (bps). Modem with high-speed capabilities will assure a faster connection on the internet. Currently, the 15,000 BIS or 56 kilobits per second modes is recommended for convenience and reasonable connection. This speed is roughly equivalent to transmitting 1,000 to 2,000 words per second. The trend, however, is to offer internet users even highest connections to web. Digital subscriber line is phone companies in many regions. The DSL digital information on your regular telephone line without disturbing voice traffic. These lines can carry up 1 to 1 megabits per second. Transmits over a TV cable lines cable model. Ito nga po, sinasabi dito na kung ano nga daw po ang internet. Ang internet daw ay may definition sa isang network o networks. Ang isang single internet daw ay naglalaman ng dalawa o higit pang computers na nagkokonekta upang maibahagi ang mga impormasyon. Ang connection daw ay kailangan ng mga device na nag-aalaw sa computer upang makipagpalitan at magbigay ng impormasyon sa pamamagitan ng linya ng telepono. Ang impormasyon daw na naipadala ay sobrang bilis na. Ito ay bumibilis ng 56,000 BIS o 56 kilobits per kada segundo. Ito ay nag-equivalent ng 1,000 o 2,000 words kada segundo. Kapag daw ang isang computer ay nakakonect sa isang internet, ito daw ay tinatawag na local sites, at ang computer ay nakikipagkomunikasyon sa local sites ay tinatawag na remote sites. Offer speed comparable DSL once the computer is connected to the internet. It is called a local sites, and the computer communicating to local sites are called remote sites. Many sites hosted by organizations called domains. The following are the most common domains and the arbitrations by which they are identified on the internet. Sinasabi dito na kapag daw ang computer na connect sa isang internet, ito daw ay tinatawag na local sites. At ang computer ay nakikipagkomunikasyon sa isang local sites ay tinatawag na remote sites. Government, military, educational institution, commercial providers, or non-profit organizations. Access to the internet is becoming easier to handle and cheaper, but major consideration in selecting our price. Ang pag-access daw po sa internet ay masasabing madali upang masagawa ang lahat ng Access the local phone numbers and whether the ISP has local numbers in areas you may travel to. Consumers can connect to the internet once they subscribe to ISP and own a modem. Makaka-access lang daw po sa connection sa internet once na nag-subscribe ka, nagbayad ka sa ISP and upang sa iyong modem. The computer establishes a connection by dialing telephone number through a open line to have supercomputers. These supercomputers connect your request internet backbone circuits. These are the circuits that as other computers known as servers for directions to the web address once you have connected to the internet. Your ISP home page is a start page for the giving you plenty of options for chatting, shopping, electronic mail, stick codes, web browsing, news, and other service. This information and service is called a portal. Yun nga daw po, kapag daw po nakapag-subscribe kasi sa internet, maka-access ka sa mga chatting, shopping, electronic mail, stick codes, web browsing, news, and other service. Electronic mail, the service that is most commonly used in conjunction with the electronic mail. This communication system can transport across the world in a matter of seconds. The convenience of persons to communicate on an individual to individual. Yun nga daw po, ang electronic mail daw po ay nakakapag-transport sa ba't ibang bahagi ng mundo ng segundo lang binibilis. Photocopier, printer, and fax examination. With the emergence digital technology, documents examiners subject to alterations of fraudulent use. The cases of photocopiers confronted with a new way of creating machines and computer printers, and an examiner may be called upon identify the make and model of a machine that may have been used printing a document. The examiner may be called upon or question documents with the test samples printed from a suspend. The examiners will have to generate approximately 10 samples each machine to obtain a sufficient representation of photocopiers characters. A side-by-side comparison is made between the questioned documents and the printed exemplars to compare marking produced by the machine. Transitory defects, marks originating from the random formation of debris on the glass plated. Inner cover or mechanical portions or copier themselves produce image. These images often appear, shape, and sometimes form distinctive patterns. Thus, they become point of comparisons as the documents examiners attempts to link the document to suspect copiers. The gradual change, shift, duplications of these marks may aid the examiners in dating the documents. In analyzing computers, printouts, and faxes, examiners use the same approach for comparing the markings on a question's documents to exemplar documents generated by a suspect machine. These markings include all possible transitory patterns arising from debris and other extraneous materials. Fax machines contain a header known as the transmitter terminal identifier (TTI) that can be read at the top of each fax page, which serve as very important point of the comparisons. The header and the document's text should have different types. Systems can fraudulently be prepared and placed in the approximate position on a photocopier, printer, and fax examination. With the emergence digital technology, document examiners subject to alteration or fraudulent use. The cases of photocopiers confronted with a new way of creating machines and computer printers, an examiner may be called upon identify and make model of machine that may have been used
printing a document, the examiner may be called upon or a question document with a test simple printed from suspect. The examiner will have to generate approximately 10 samples each machine to obtain a sufficient representation of photocopier characters. A side-by-side comparison is made between the questioned document and the printed exemplar to compare markings produced by the machine. Sabi po dito, kailangan daw po ang examiner na makapag-produce ng tigsa 10 copy para po sa mas malinaw na pagpipresent. At saka po, ang pinagkukumpara daw po dito ay yung question documents at saka po yung printed exemplars. Transitory defect. Marks originating from the random formation of debris on the glass, platen, inner cover, or mechanical portion of copier themselves produce image. This image often appeared shape and sometimes form distinctive pattern. Thus they become points of comparison as the document examiner attempts to link the document to suspect copiers. The gradual shift duplication of these marks may aid the examiner in dating the document. In analyzing computer printouts and faxes, examiner use the same approach for comparing the markings on a question document to exemplar documents generating by a suspect machine. This marking includes all possible transitory patterns arising from the debris and other extraneous materials. Fax machine contain a header known as the transmitting terminal identifier that can be read on the top of each fax page, which serves is very important of comparison. The header and the document text should have different types. System can fraudulently be prepared in a place in the appropriate position on a fax copy. However, a microscope examination of the print will quickly reveal significant characteristics that will distinguish it from the genuine transmitting terminal identifier. In order to determine the fax machine model type, the examiner must often begin analyzing the type, the number of characters, their style, their position, and their header are the best evaluated through collection of transmitting terminal identifier fonts organized into useful database. Question document examiners. In cases where the suspect machine is not available, the examiner be called upon to analyze the document class characteristics in order to identify and make model of the machine. It is important to identify the printing technology, the type of paper, the type of toner, chemical composition of the toner, and the type of toner ink used. Pausing methods. 10 paper pass characteristic document examiner access database to help us use in toner and the type of toner ink used. Pausing methods. 10 paper pass characteristic document examiner access database to help us use in producing the document. This result to categorize based on their mechanical and separate model type of machine used to prepare questioned model document. The result hopefully will reduce the list of possibilities produced by the database, the number of potential machine to a manageable number. Side-by-side comparison of a question and exemplars are a suspect machine is identified. The examiner must prescribe previously determination requires as extensive analysis, technology, and type of ink use, visual, microscopic, printer, Modelicific in printer techno and sporobite. Generally, printers are categorized as impact and non-toners by the mechanism of their toner application. Non-impact jet and laser printers and impact printers such as and dot matrix printers all have characteristics way of printing terms, characters, shape, toner, differentiation, and toner application, determination with a low power microscope and wheel hoods are easily help the examiner around the possibilities of the model type. High crime contains for today and tomorrow. The Citibank caper, Moscow, September 28, 1994, $10 million Dectronic break-in may not just be a taste of things to come. Post-Soviet Russia has spawned some of the world's most ruthless, daring crime gangs. It also has thousands, perhaps even tens of thousands of idle computer programmers. This is just the beginning. Louis Shelley, an expert in Russian organized crime at American University in Washington, predicted after the Citibank case, Citibank's computerized cash management system moves up to $500 million a day. It has extremely tight security and no one has ever penetrated the system. No one, that is until a bespectacled young man in St. Petersburg with a laptop computer allegedly tried his bank, and law enforcement officials say he hacked into the bank system's course of times over a 5-month period from June 1994 using secret client codes to shuffle about $10 on the bank accounts abroad are developed with the environments we will live in. The computers and other high technology equipment has paved the way for the genesis of crime types. This present yet another knowledge other criminal justice professionals aiming up challenges for potential victims, law enforcement personnel, criminologists, and other criminal professionals. What is high technology crime? While there may be debate over the definition of this phenomenon, it is generally agreed that high-tech crime involves an attempt to pursue illegal activities through the use of advanced electronic media. High technology shall be defined as a form of sophisticated electronic device, computer, cellular telephone, and other digital communication that is in common use today. Ano daw po ang high technology crime? Ito daw po yung ginagamitan ng social media at saka po ng mga gamit. Yung mga crime po na ginagamitan ng social media.
Characteristics of high-tech crimes. Role of victims. Type of property. Criminals who high-tech crimes no longer need actual direct contact with victims. Computers equipped WIE modems, offenders who victimize people thousands of miles away. The reach of offenders has been considerably extended. Physical movement been replaced by electronic travel. The type of property that is stolen or attracted. 15 also very deep in nature, while other property crimes, arson, vandalism, then theft, burglary. Victimize concrete targets. High-tech crimes involve visible and tangible kinds of properties such as information, data. A computer networks long after crime has taken place that only time the victims will be able to realize that they were victimized by high-tech crime in In other property crimes, there are often little time between the actual crime and the realization that a crime has taken place. As in case of burglary or arson, for example, profits of crime. The profits from high-tech crimes are of great extent the rise in the incidence of computer crime, for example, testament to its efficacy and profit to be made. Sinasabi po dito na characteristics mo high-tech crimes. Since there are advanced technologies invented, some criminals involved and use it to commit a crime. For example, using a computer equipment, a criminal can victimize people whenever they are. They can easily extend their crime using high technologies, using a high tech to commit crimes against properties such as information, data, and computer networks. The bad effects of this is the victim will thereafter realize that they become victim of a crime. According to British Banking Associates in London, the cost of computer error worldwide is at about 8 billion a year. Because of the increasing type of equipment, computer hackers are able to see 8 amounts with ease, and sometimes a single act can victim multiple people or places once detection. Some individuals are attracted to high-tech crime because they find evading detection and prosecution relatively few. Law enforcement agencies are equipped to detect the tech crimes occurring within their jurisdiction. Furthermore, the nature of high-tech crime allows perpetrators to carry or illegal activities of high-tech crime allows perpetrators to carry or illegal activities without any geographic limitation, tracing tech criminal activity to the responsible individual is very different. Sinasabi po dito din na this kind of crime involving high technologies are very dangerous. It can steal money, information, even data because of the computer fraud and computer hacking. The problem with this is that tracking the perpetrator is not that easy. That's why many criminals using this kind of method to commit a crime is untouchables. Identifying the crime location becomes harder to do since streets, burst space, and other city has physical space have been replaced by airwaves, nets, and other electronic media. Often, by the time illegal activity has been detected, the criminal have already moved on to a new target. Degree of criminal complexity. Another important aspect of not designed to deal with such novel and complex crimes have been detected. The criminals have already moved on to new target. Psychology crimes involves the confiscated nature of the crimes highly committed every day. New crimes involved and refined by being computer users. Traditional law enforcement techniques are in a sense sophisticated. Criminals stealing a credit or its hers from the internet for illegal purposes requires a certain numbers from degree for proficiency in internet navigation. Sabi dito na another challenging for the law enforcer for this kind of crime is to identify the location of the offender. The physical space between the criminal and the enforcer is replaced by the airwave cyberspace that the time that the law enforcer detect where the criminal is they are long gone. Katulad ng nabanggit kanina, pwedeng gamitin ng high technology sa pagnanakaw. For example, paghahack ng mga credit card, isa itong krimen using the skill of the criminal at hindi ito madaling mahuli. Crime on the internet. Types of crime. High-tech criminals have also created their own crime types, while some seek same ends as more traditional property offender Modern technology allows for novel and totally new crimes. Computer network break-ins. There are two types of computer network break-ins. The first is commonly known as hacking. It is practiced as criminal gain and can therefore be considered more malicious. Nevertheless, network instruction have made illegal by the US federal government. A hacker's reward ability to bypass security measure. Hackers for the most ability to bypass security measures seek intro into a computer system and snoop around. Obtain no sign of entry. It can be like to an individual with personal entry into another person's house, going through a few belongings and carefully leaving without taking anything. The second type of break-in is the one done for the illegal criminal might break into a large credit card, company cards numbers, or into a network to steal data or sensitive inform other. Criminal acts include computer vandalism, whereby individual break into a system, alter its operating structure, delete improperly change passwords, or plant viruses that can destroy operating system software programs and data. Dito po ay ang mga high-tech criminals ay gumagawa ng krimen sa pamamagitan ng modern technology. Ano ba ito? Halimbawa na lang ng mga hacker, they hack the social media accounts. Para saan? Para manloko o blackmail at gamitin ang pangalan ng tao o account na hinak nila. Maaaring pera ang hingin nila sa relatives ng hinak nila o di kaya ay siraan ng hinak nila.
Industrial espionage. In an age where information can create power, it should not surprising that competing industries are very curious to know what the others are doing. Cyber spies can be hard break into competitors' computer system and gather secret information, often leaving no trace of intrusions. These spies have such powerful technology at their disposal that they are able to target computers and information that may be thousands of miles away, making the detection even more difficult. Understanding industrial describes series of covert activities in the corporate world, such as the theft of trading secrets by removal, copying of recording confidential software, piracy, approximately 7.5 billion works of American softwares illegally copied and distributed annually worldwide, estimated by the U.S. Software Publisher Association. Software privacy ranges from friends sharing and occasionally copying software to international fraudulent schemes whereby software replicated and passed on original products, sometimes at lower price. The duplication process is relatively simple, and once mastered on software can be pirated and copies sold worldwide, done pen or compact disc and digital video. This is also makes casual software piracy very difficult, since few people have the technology duplicate these days. Ang software piracy ay pagnanakaw ng illegal na protektado ng software sa ilalim ng batas ng copyright and software ay nangyayari kapag protektado ang software copyright, pinamamahagi o binabago o binebenta nito. Characteristics of the high-tech criminal. While the crimes and deviant acts rely heavily on technology, there are still human offenders behind them.
it is true that modern technology is also widespread that virtually anyone is capable of high-tech crime, but it also remains back the most high-tech offenders, especially computer hackers, with a rather unique profile. These individuals are usually young, 14 to 19 years old, males from middle class background. They often possess superior levels of intelligence, IQ over 120, but on social level they tend to be withdrawn and associate mainly with peers who share their fascination for electronic gadgets and computer-related activities. Youth also believe that they part of counterculture, getting censorship, liberating information, challenging by business and major corporations in way that perceive themselves modern-day Robin Hood. Katangian ng high-tech ay pagkatapos ng ilang katangian ng matataas sa technical na krimen, ang mga ito ay partikular na kriminal na pag-uugali na kung saan lamang ang tiyak na bilang ng mga tao na may mga maling kasanayan, technical ay maaaring basahin ang kumpletong research material. When new global meets all local news. Development in technology often outpace the ability of the law to keep up while technology rapidly. When new global meets all local news. Development in technology often outpace the ability of the law to keep up while technology rapidly creates opportunities for activity society seeks to classify as deviant. The law is often ill-equipped of address this issue. The resulting seal on the part legislatures of past law often raises civil rights issues such as the protection of the right of privacy, free speech, and freedom of association. This conflict is illustrated by stories of Jake Bscrim, Dave Blackmacchia, and Jake Baker, a student at the University of Michigan Ann Arbor, was arrested by FBI agents February 9, 1995 and charged with transmitting threats across state lines. He was charged because he posted an erotic fantasy on the internet in which rape and torture character with the same name as one Baker is real-life classmate. The charges were later revised to making it torture another person. But in the meantime, Baker had been suspended from the University of Michigan and his story had made headline around the world. The case raises issues beyond the legality of posting fantasy in which leaving a person name is issued. Many people have expressed concern over whether Baker's liberties were violated when he was suspended and how much dignity in an individual has been posting materials to the internet was eventually acquitted in the part because his story was aimed to be self-expression and did not constitute a threat. Computer with information open it relevant mail bombs capable shutting down computers and even entire networks if the amount of information is too large for the receiving computer of the digest password. Sniper a password or some rather form of user identification to protect the information it contains is required to have an access to have a computer system. Password is sniper refers to programs that carefully record the names and passwords of network users. As they log in with such confidential information, unauthorized users are able to gain unlawful access to unlawful access to the computer. Their information it contains password can be sold other users for illegal purposes. The edit, card fraud, computer, and the internet are used conduct business. Merchandise is ordered online and so with the payments. Computer can be facilitate credit card fraud into ways. First, a conventionally stolen credit card can be used order merchandise line and because no time wasted going from store to store, operator can maximize his her and gain before the card activated. Detection is also reduced since there is no physical contact with sales staff who might alert authorities should they suspect fraud. Second, credit card numbers can be stolen from internet as a customer a making legitimate purchase. Programs similar to those that are designed to steal passwords from unsuspecting users are often used for this purpose. Another way of stealing credit card number for offenders to access computers located in